Evening, I'd like to call Independent School District 721 to order. Janelle, please note that all board members are present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First, we have a spotlight. Your girls, come on. The high school varsity volleyball team captains and coach were recognized.
Yes.
We will recognize.
Right. Our volleyball coach couldn't make it tonight, but we've got Abby Molstead, Lacey Cradaville, and Shelby Bowler here today. 3 senior captains. We want to congratulate them on finishing 3rd at the state tournament. It was 20 years since New Prague High School was in the state volleyball tournament, and they made the tournament and then won 2 matches, won the 3rd place match, and had a great season. And we invited them to come here and just talk about the experience this year, especially the state tournament, and just introduce yourselves, and then you can talk about that, and I'll ask you a couple of questions.
I'm Abby Molstad.
I'm Lacey Cradaville.
I'm Shelby Bowler.
All right, and why don't you just share your thoughts on playing in the state tournament or this past season and your experience here at New Prague High School?
We're prepared for like a 20-minute speech, so just go ahead.
It was super cool to just be in the Excel Center. It's very different than playing in the gym, and I just had so much fun this season getting to know all the girls and working hard and obviously meeting our goal of going to the state tournament.
Yeah, I feel like it was just like an overwhelming experience. Like Lacey said, like it was much different than just like being in our gym, just like looking up and like the stands, and like the first day, like we had the whole stands filled, which was really cool. And then yeah.
Yeah, I know I had a lot of fun. The energy in the gym was just always high. And I know like on the court, it was like some of the best volleyball we've played all season, and the competition was really good because it was a state tournament. We were all very like equally matched teams, so I had a lot of fun.
Well, that's awesome. And I know we had probably one of the best crowd support, student and fan support of the whole state tournament. Why don't you just talk, so you guys seniors, you got plans for next year? And why don't you talk about that real quick, each of you? What do you plan on doing next year? Do you know yet?
I don't exactly know what I'm going to do. I don't think any of us are planning on playing volleyball, but like what do I want to do?
School.
Okay. I think I want to major in biology and then go on and get my PA license.
Okay.
I want to do the same. I want to major in biology and then go be a PA, and I'm not sure in what field yet.
Okay.
I want to get my bachelor's of science in nursing and then go work in a level 1 trauma center as a trauma and ER nurse.
Okay, great. Well, we got people going in the medical field, which we desperately need right now, and we know you'll be very successful. Board members, do you have any questions or comments?
Where are you looking to go to school?
My top choice is Madison.
My top choice is either the U of M, Twin Cities, or Iowa State.
Right now, I'm looking at either the U of M, Twin Cities, or the University of North Dakota.
Okay, awesome. Go ahead.
Are any one of you 3 the YouTube sensation that dropped that shot in? Was it against Holy Family or Waconia? Do you know what I'm talking about? Where they had already huddled up?
Oh, no, that was our libero, Emerson. Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite the play.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else? All right, well, great. Why don't you come up here? We got a little gift for you, a little token you can bring to college with you, too.
Congratulations. Great. Okay, open forum. We have one open forum. Dan Call is going to speak. Dan, You've heard the lecture. I'm not going to read it again.
I was going to say, I hope you wouldn't read it because you have so much confidence in my ability to follow your
I
instructions
do.
without repeated reminder.
Exactly.
But I would like to take this opportunity to thank the members of the administration and the school board that have taken the time or have committed to meet with members of the parents group. Your guys' willingness to commit your time to discuss these important issues is really appreciated, and we thank you guys for that. At the same time, we would like to continue inviting the members of the board that have not accepted our invitations for dialogue to reconsider. We think talking outside of the public comments section of the school board meeting is critical to us understanding each other. As I have stated in the past, the difference between what we say we are doing and what is happening in practice in our school district should be an important focus for parents, teachers, administrators, and the board. Vague mission, value, and state standards do little to set clear boundaries of what is acceptable and is not acceptable in our schools. Leaving each of these decisions up to varying interpretations will lead to misunderstanding and very big disagreements, even when everyone is acting in good faith. I think parents, students, teachers, and administrators will all be happier if we clearly define where the boundaries are. I believe this to be true even for individuals that do not fully agree on where the line is ultimately set. There are many ways to start working towards solutions on these problems: setting up parent curriculum boards to help set up and review curriculum, reviewing our policies, taking an active role in selecting the training we send our teachers to, in order to better match our district visions, are steps that we should be looking at and taking aggressive steps towards. If we do not take these clear and concise steps to establish standards to serve our entire community, we will find ourselves in perpetual disagreements and misunderstandings and misinterpretations of what we are actually trying to do. And so we ask the board to take those steps to establish those guidelines. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. Okay, moving on, we will, sorry, I gotta move my paperclip. A motion to approve the agenda, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
So move.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Passes 7-0. Committee reports, policy.
No policy.
Southwest Metro.
Southwest Metro met last Tuesday, and it was a good meeting. Probably the highlight of the meeting was our audit report that we went over, and basically we got a nice review from the auditor. Things are looking good. We have a nice reserve fund. And it was especially impressive given the fact that we've had a lot of financial transactions that have happened during the past year with the sale of property and also the purchase of property and whatever have you. And so with all things considered, the audit report was very good, and we got a good rating.
Good. That's always nice. How about special ed?
We had a CPAC meeting on the 2nd of November. It was a Zoom meeting. We talked about the beginning of the school year and how it's going, and it's much better than it was last year, obviously, with the distance learning, but it's still quite an adjustment for the kids coming back to the different programs. We talked about staff changes and additions. Our programs are growing. We talked about how over the years we have added more programs, and special needs students are being given a lot of opportunities to meet their IEPs that they have through our programs that we are having at our school district. Spotlight on Disability series. There's a future autism speaker event that's coming up. It's still to be worked out, but we'll have a person that is an expert in the field of autism. And then I brought up the topic of COVID, how it's impacting the you know, IEPs, being able to meet the students' needs, and it's a struggle, it's tough, but the IEPs are being met through the difficult times of COVID, but it's not easy. That would do it.
Okay. Community ed.
Community Ed met on November 9th. Just a couple other things. Generation Theater is planning to run Matilda this summer. It'll be a large production with, they're anticipating 100 participants. And they also mentioned Music at the Bras Project, which is free concerts that'll be held 6 Thursday evenings in the summer of 2022. Preschool. There are currently 332 preschoolers, and they're running 14 weekly classes with 137 kids attending. And early childhood screening has screened the most kids ever last year at 316, and they anticipate doing that again this year. And the winter brochure comes out December 1st, online already, but that's it.
Yes, winter. It's coming. Wellness committee.
No wellness.
Early childhood.
No meeting.
Fitness and aquatic.
That got bumped to next Monday, so I'll have an update next meeting.
Okay, we are to the superintendent's good news report.
Okay. We had, after our board meeting on the 11th, we had obviously Veterans Day on the Thursday the 15th. We had an in-person event recognizing our veterans at New Prague High School. Outstanding event. We had a great community participation. A lot of people there. Kids were great, and it was just we had some great speakers, and it was just a wonderful event. So very proud of the high school for hosting that and conducting a very memorable event for our veterans. So very supportive of that. Similar to volleyball, swimming and diving, it's amazing how things have changed in a few years here. It's nice when you get a beautiful aquatic center like we have, but it's paying off with our swim team, girls swim team. We had 5 girls that made state, most we've ever had, qualify for state. Natalie Dawson placed 14th in state in diving, and Peyton Sheffer placed 6th in the IM and 2nd in the 100 butterfly in the finals. So that was great. But the 5 girls, 4 are sophomores, 1 is an 8th grader, and also I should mention Tracy Torgerson was named the diving coach of the year for the section. So just a tremendous thing. I should mention also we start up next Monday with boys swimming and diving for the first time. We're really excited about that. First time we've ever had boys swimming and diving. So that's great to see.
Any idea what the participation numbers are going to be for that yet or not?
I would say we're projecting between 20 and 25. For sure, we've got last week, now I'm giving you old stats here, we had 15 officially sign up, but Brad Skogerbo, the activities director, figured there's more coming in. So early on, they projected 25 for this year, so we'll have to wait and see. But I think it's just like girls swimming and diving, when we moved it here, we could be at our own center. It grew like crazy. I think we'll see what happens the first year, but I think it's a program that's only going to get bigger.
Great. News. Okay, on to our action items. Calendar survey results.
All right. Yes, we did a survey. Gave 3 options that were sent out to all families and staff. Very similar to what we've done in the past. Option A was the one where we have an early start. We start a week before Labor Day and we end in May. Option B, there is a spring, that even does have a spring break. Option B, we start after Labor Day with the spring break ending June 8th. And then option C was no spring break, starting after Labor Day but ending June 1st. It was overwhelming on the survey. I think 80% of staff chose option A, to start early and end early, and 69%, almost 68.5% to be exact, of parents chose the pre-Labor Day start. So they also chose option A. So overwhelming. Again, I've got the application in front of me. We're probably going to be sending that in this week. We need to get approval from the state. We have to show our survey results to them. We also have to be able to prove from past years, and we have to go back to pre-COVID, our test scores when we were going early for the last 7 years compared to before that, what it was. So MCA scores, stuff like that, which show that does help us, and also behavioral and attendance data too, that's better also by starting early and ending early. So we have to wait for that. We probably will not get the results probably till January, or I shouldn't say results, their approval or disapproval, I guess. But if we don't get approved, we'll have to talk about option B and C, and it was pretty mixed between the two on that one. But obviously, by far, option A, people have been used to. As you remember, I think we did 4 years of it during the construction piece, and the last 3 years as a waiver. And so we're reapplying for the waiver again, and hopefully we'll hear soon in January, I'm going to guess right now. But that's where that's at.
Great. Approval for the MOU for certified staff, discretionary leave. Hi, Sandy, welcome back.
Okay, the first MOU is relating to the New Prague Ed Minnesota group, the teachers, and COVID and discretionary leave. As you recall, this is the second year of our discretionary leave program where they don't have dedicated sick time, and there are very specific rules about when they can access their leave bank. Discretionary leaves combines bereavement, sick, and personal into one pot, and once those annual days are gone, the allocation, then they can only use their sick bank for certain things. So one thing we didn't anticipate having is so many staff developing COVID because of the vaccination efforts. We thought that was, in the summertime it was pretty much almost a done deal, and then that didn't last. So we've had quite a few staff get COVID despite being vaccinated, and so then they're subject to quarantine times. Once they're diagnosed, they have to stay home for 10 days. And so we'd like to provide some temporary relief for COVID-related absences just for this school year. And then we're hoping next year we'll be in a much better situation. So we'd just like to, if a teacher is diagnosed with COVID, only having to use 3 of their discretionary leave days before going to their leave bank. Normally it's 5. And those days do not have to be consecutive. And if they have a COVID-related absence due to family contacts, like a daycare closing, a young child developing COVID, and they need caring for and so forth, they would use 5 discretionary days, and again, they don't have to be consecutive. We have a lot of teachers where the husband and wife are kind of going back and forth as far as who can watch the child. And so we'd like to make it not consecutive. We've also had some teachers whose parents develop COVID and need some care as well. And then at no situation will a teacher be required to use more than 5 discretionary leave days due to COVID this year. And like I said, this is just for this year, and hopefully next year we're going to be in a much better spot. Other districts that have PTO, discretionary leave type programs are having to make some adjustments for COVID. So do you have any questions or comments on that?
Is this retroactive back to the beginning of the school year? Okay.
It is. We'll have to try to recreate some things. Yeah.
Do we know yet if we're going to have the same leave program next year yet or not?
Yes, we will. Well, one of us could pull it, but probably not. Well, they'll probably let it go one more year just because this, again, isn't a very normal year. We're hoping to get one normal year under our belt. Any other questions? I
So
need
I'll have a
approval.
motion.
Yep.
So moved.
Perfect.
Second.
Any other questions? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Approval for the MOU for certified staff low instant.
Yes, we have a couple of, well, actually just one situation in the district right now where we have, this would primarily be DAPE, so it's a very low incidence. Not many students have DAPE on their IEP, but a few do. And we don't always match, where the students are versus who has the licensure to do that in the buildings that they're in. And so we actually have one situation right now where the teacher is having to provide these DAPE services during the school day, during their regular duty day. And if we treated it like an overload, they would get like $10 an hour to do this. And that isn't isn't much incentive to provide these services. And so just for these low incident services, we'd like to be able to pay them their regular hourly rate, even if it's during their regular duty day, knowing that they still have to complete all their job duties for their current job, for their regular job, and are probably putting in more time. We would not be paying for any like IEP meetings, outside the duty day. It's just for providing these services. Like I said, we have one situation right now. I think they're providing services to 2 children. It's a couple hours a week. It's very, very little amount. And so we just like to try to treat these situations so we can attract teachers to be able to do these. We are required to provide these services. Any question on this?
What does DAPE stand for?
Adaptive Phy-Ed.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, I'll take a motion to approve the MOU for certified staff low instant.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Denny, you have a resolution.
I have 3 of them, actually. The first one is a resolution to accept the donation from the Duck Cup. Do I have a motion to consider this resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to consider the following resolution. Whereas the school board may accept a gift valued at $1,000 or more only by adoption of a resolution by 2/3 of its members. Whereas the Duck Cup wishes to donate $9,000 to the district for student speaker Joe Beckman. Now therefore be it resolved, the New Prague Area Schools Board of Education shall accept the donation under no conditions. How do you vote, Leo?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Dennis, yes, item passes. Okay, and the next one that we have is a resolution of our governing board supporting an application to the Minnesota State High School League Foundation. Do I have a motion to consider this resolution?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to consider the following resolution. Whereas the Minnesota State High School League Foundation was formed to provide support for Minnesota's high school youth to participate in athletics and fine arts. Whereas the governing board of Independent School District 721 recognizes the value of student participation in extracurricular activities. And whereas the Minnesota State High School League Foundation is offering grants and funding to assist schools in recognizing, promoting, and funding extracurricular participation by high school students in arts and athletics, therefore it be resolved that the Governing Board of Independent School District 721 supports the school's application to the Minnesota State High School League Foundation for Form A grant to offset student activity fees. How do you vote, Jean?
Yes.
Matthew?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Leo?
Yes.
Dennis, yes, item passes. And finally, the third one is a resolution dealing with the establishment of polling places and polling hours for the upcoming year. Do I have a motion to consider this resolution?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to consider the following resolution for establishing the hours of voting and the locations. First of all, St. Patrick's Social Hall for Cedar Lake Township, Elko City Hall for Elko New Market City, IC Immaculate Conception Church Civic Center for lawn sale. Wheatland Township Hall for Vesely. New Prague Fitness Aquatic Center for New Prague and the surrounding townships. And the hours are from 7 o'clock until 8 o'clock, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. for the polling. How do you vote on this, Leo?
Yes.
Kim?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Tammy?
Yes.
Matthew?
Yes.
Jean?
Yes.
Dennis? Yes, item passes.
Hey, motion to go into closed session for negotiations per Minnesota State Statute 13D.013 Subdirectory 1. Motion for that, please.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 7-0. Time is 6:27.